Sai Ram. It's now my privilege to welcome and introduce our next speaker of the morning, who will be delivering the keynote address, Padma Shri, Dr. V. Mohan, a trustee of Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, Prasanthi Nilayam. He is the chairman of chain Dr. Mohan Diabetes Specialties Center in India. He is a world-renowned diabetologist and is ranked amongst the top 2% scientists in the world and the top medical scientist in India as per Stanford University Global. Please join me in welcoming Dr. B. Mohan sir. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Sri Sai Ram, offering our collective pranams at the divine lotus feet of our Lord and Master, Bhagawan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, but for whom none of us will be here today. There will be no Prasanthi Nilayam. There will be no Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program, for it is for that one name, for that one Bhagawan, that we are all here today. How can we thank you enough, Swami? Please bless this program. Please bless all of us. And please bless me above all to do something useful, to step into the shoes of Sri Nimish Pandya, All India President, is a very difficult task. So please help me to achieve this. Respected Sri Chakravarti Garu, Honorary Chancellor, the Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, and Chairman of the Sri Sathya Sai Global Council, Sri R.J. Ratnakar, Managing Trustee of the Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, Sri Nimish Pandya, All India President of the Sri Sathya Sai Seva Organizations, Ambassador Dr. Deepak Vora, Professor Yogender Verma, Brother Gopi Pitatla, and all others who are involved in this beautiful program, which is called as the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation. Respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. As has been said earlier, there are numerous leadership programs in the world. If you just go to any university in India, abroad, other corporate organizations, everybody is talking about leadership. So how is this leadership normally defined? So leadership is defined as the ability of an individual or a group of people to lead, influence, or guide other individuals or organizations. So from this simple definition itself, one word which comes out very strongly is that a leader anywhere, as defined outside the Prasanthi Nilayam and outside the precincts of this hallowed place and outside this leadership program, is meant for one thing, and that is to control people. And the more fear you put into people, the more you control people, the greater you are considered a leader. This is the exact opposite, the antithesis of what the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program is meant to be. Before I talk a little bit more about this program, I want to narrate an incident which happened. Some of you who follow me on social media might have seen this. It touched me so much that I think it has great relevance to what I'm going to say. I was, after a very long number of years of not traveling Air India for obvious reasons, I was on this flight, Air India flight, and was pleasantly surprised to see the transformation. And if you really want to see how India is transforming, look at how Air India transformed. That will tell you the whole story of how India is transforming. So, as you know, Vistara has now merged with Air India. And in this flight, they were still wearing the Vistara uniform. So I could not help asking the air hostess, how do you feel about this change from Vistara to Air India? What she told me makes my hair stand up even now. She said, "Sir, Vistara was Vistara, but now I belong to an airline which bears the name of my country. How can you even compare Vistara with Air India when India is there in that company for which I am working? I am so proud," she said. If she can be so proud of an airline which bears the name of our country, all the graduates who are completing this program today, and all of you who have been lucky, chosen, handpicked, cherry-picked by Bhagawan himself to join the next batch 2025 of the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program for Self-Transformation, which bears the name of the Lord himself, how lucky should you feel? I am one who strongly believes in serendipity. And one of the serendipities that I came here, I just chose these 2 dates to be here, and here I am standing and talking in front of you. Nothing happens without Bhagavan's will. And therefore, it is He who has chosen each one of the youth, Sai youth, both the brothers and the sisters on that side. Consider yourself very, very, very fortunate to be chosen by Bhagavan himself. Without Bhagavan's knowledge, without Bhagavan's permission, without Bhagavan's sankalpa, you will not be able to take part in this program. Let me assure you that. My thoughts go back to the time when I was appointed as before I became a member of the Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust, I was made the convener of the Sri Sathya Sai Trust, Tamil Nadu. The call actually came from Prasanthi Nilayam, and the then All India President called me, and I was totally taken by surprise because I was one of the youngest members of the trust. I'd only joined a year before that. So I was least expecting that when my predecessor died, that I would be chosen by Bhagavan to be the convener of the Sri Sathya Sai Trust, Tamil Nadu. So when this call came, the All India President said, "I'm just coming out from Swami's room, and Swami asked me to call you and to find out whether you will accept." Look at Swami's humility, Bhagavan asking whether I will accept to be the convener of Sri Sathya Sai Trust, Tamil Nadu Trust. I was so shocked that I didn't know what to say. So in midst of all my busy professional commitments, whether I'll be able to take this on. And the reason is, I made a mistake because I was thinking I'm going to do it. I didn't realize that when Swami asks for something, he's going to do it. I'm only an instrument. But in my stupidity, I did not think that. And my late wife was standing next to me, and she said, "It's bigger than a Nobel Prize, accept it," she said. She overheard that she could hear, it was on speaker, so she could hear the then All India President speaking. She said, "It's bigger than a Nobel Prize." So I immediately, was brought down to earth, and I said, "It's my greatest fortune. Please thank Swami for considering me. I'll try to do whatever I can in my humble capacity." I put down the phone, but then I turned to my wife, and I said, "What are you talking about Nobel Prize here? Here I am shivering whether to accept this thing or not, whether I'll be able to do it, and you are bringing Nobel Prize into this. What is this Nobel Prize to do with it?" She said, "Can't you think?" I said, "No, I can't think. Tell me." And she said, "Who appoints the Prime Minister of a nation?" All the MPs and all that appoint. "Who gives a Nobel Prize?" There's a committee there in Sweden. They sit down together, and then in Stockholm, they sit down together, and then they decide the Nobel Prize. It's all human beings only, no? She said, Yeah, human beings only. "Who appointed you?" "The Lord of the universe has appointed you." So which is bigger? The Nobel Prize is bigger, or the convener of the Sathya Sai Trust is bigger? You're appointed by Bhagawan himself. That brought me down to my senses, and I realized how much more spiritually evolved she was. The reason I'm saying this is, when you are selected among the billions of people in this world, a handful of people, 1,565 alumni have already passed out, and now a fresh batch has joined. This is the 5th edition of this course, of this program. Among the 8 billion or so people in this world, here you are, selected by Bhagawan himself to be part of this program. Now, why would you be selected? Why did Bhagawan select all of you? Was it simply just like that, like a lottery ticket you won? No, it is not so. Because we just heard from the ambassador about the greatness of our country. No doubt, Swami has himself said that the golden age will come soon. He also mentioned some dates, but as you know, Swami's calendar and our calendar are slightly different in many ways. But Swami definitely told us, sitting here in Prasanthi Nilayam, I've heard it from Swami himself, saying that very soon we will have the golden era, the golden age of the world. In that golden age, the whole world will have only peace. The whole world will have only love. And the whole world will just consist of brothers and sisters who belong to one nation. And that is the golden age. And when that golden age, which has already started today, comes, Bhagavan has said that India in general and Prasanthi Nilayam in particular will be the spiritual capital of the whole world. The whole world is going to converge on Prasanthi Nilayam, and which better year to do that than the centenary of our beloved Lord, this year. So it is not by accident that we are all here today. We are all chosen by Him. We are all cherry-picked by Him to be here, and also the thousands and the lakhs of people who are online watching this program, many others who may not be watching the program due to time differences, but who are all connected to Bhagavan in some way or the other. They are all looking up to you. You are the future leaders of this country. You are the future leaders of the world. You bear the stamp of Sathya Sai in the program that you have gone through. When you become an alumnus of this, you're not alumnus of Harvard, you're not alumnus of Stanford, you're alumnus of Sri Sathya Sai. There can be no greater alumnus of this world than to be an alumnus of Sri Sathya Sai. Of course, with that, there is also responsibility which comes. Some of you, of course, what we expect is that all of you will contribute to this great organization, that you will give your little bit to make the world a better place to live in. And that is what is the dream of this leadership program. We're not training you to become a leader in a political sense, but to be a true leader who has love in his heart or her heart. But then, some of you may be like me, I'm not fully associated. I run my own hospitals and do my own research and do everything, but I try to be as much connected to Prasanthi Nilayam as possible. So some of you may be in that capacity. Some of you may be taking on full responsibility in the organizations, in the trusts which bear the divine name. But some of you may become entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurship starts with E. So it's a very nice word. There's nothing wrong with it. Many people think entrepreneurship means making money, and making money is bad. I've not seen it in the Bhagavad Gita, I've not seen it in anywhere, any of the religions, saying that making money is bad. In fact, unless you make money, how are you going to do charity? How are you going to help others? If you don't have money yourself, how are you going to help others? So entrepreneurship is good. There's nothing wrong with it. But that E in entrepreneurship must be followed by two other E's. One E is empathy. You must have empathy for your fellow human beings. Whether you're a doctor, lawyer, teacher, businessman, running a big, multi-billion-dollar industry, it doesn't matter what you do. And the richer you are, the better for you, because you can do more to society. So becoming a multi-billionaire, a trillionaire, is not a bad thing at all. But you should never lose the empathy that you have for fellow human beings. If you don't have that empathy, then that entrepreneurship has no meaning. And the second thing that you should have, very strong, another E that you should have, is ethics. Because whatever you do, you should do ethically. If you unethically do something and become an entrepreneur and you become a millionaire, then it is of no use at all. So if you have the entrepreneurship E, and then you have the ethics and the empathy, those triple E if you have, you are divine. Because now you got everything. You got empathy, you got ethics, and you're an entrepreneur. So you're divine. If you don't have the second and the third E, and you're just an entrepreneur, you're equal to another letter which starts with E, and that is evil. Because you become an entrepreneur without ethics, without empathy, then you're nothing but evil. So that is what you should learn in the National Leadership Program. As part of your curriculum, I know that you have one of the best leadership books ever written in this world, the best management books ever written, and that is the Sri Sathya Sai Mahakavya on Leadership. That is the book which actually somebody gave it to me. Long before I came to Swami, somebody gave it to me and said, read this. If you want to know about leadership, read this. And I was amazed at the kind of content, and I understand this morning that that is part of your curriculum. I think if you read that one book, that will teach you all Swami's teachings, all ideals about how to become a leader. And in the end, when all is done, when you look back on your life, whether you have really lived up to this self-transformation which you're trying to achieve through the Sri Sathya Sai National Leadership Program, it all boils down, my dear brothers and sisters, it all boils down to just 8 golden words. You can forget about everything else that you learned. You can forget about all the great people who taught you. You can forget about everything else that you learned in this course. If you just remember the 8 golden words of Swami. Love all, serve all, help ever, hurt never. This is the essence of the program. If you remove these 8 words out, whatever else you do in the program is a sheer waste of time. Because the end of it, if you don't love everybody, you're a leader, so you should be serving people, you should be helping people, and you shouldn't be hurting anybody. So these 8 words actually summarizes everything, all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, everything that has ever been written in any religion cannot be bettered by these 8 golden words. So remember that at the end of it, Swami, the whole world, everybody is waiting for you to become leaders of a type that your parents will be proud of, the society will be proud of, your nation Bharat will be proud of, and most importantly, our beloved Bhagawan, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, will be proud of. So my blessings to you as you embark on your next course of the students who have joined. My heartiest congratulations to all those who have graduated. And let us pray to Bhagawan Baba that very soon we'll have the silver jubilee of this program, and then the golden jubilee, and then the centenary of this program. Jai Sai Ram.